Hello, and welcome to another installment of Car Talk. I almost said Tuesday. Of Car Talk Thursday. So, the sun's going down, so I might as well try to talk as much as I can before it gets too dark and then you can barely see me. So, let's go ahead and get into it. First big thing I want to bring up is Clay got God of War Ragnarok last week. I believe it came out. It came out like Wednesday or Thursday. I believe it was either the night it came out or the day after he went and got it. And I think he's right about to finish it. I believe he will be finishing it tonight. I haven't seen him play the entire game, but I think I've seen him play the vast majority of it. I've been enjoying it. Now, I haven't asked him to pass the stick, so I haven't actually played it myself. So I can't really say anything about the gameplay. Presentation-wise, though, the game is really gorgeous. I think it looks incredible, and the story, I think, is really good. It's kind of like when I was watching him play Xenoblade 3. I don't know if I've ever said that, but I did not play XC3. I watched him play it, and I was like, yeah, this is a great show. I'm just enjoying myself. I'm getting into the story, getting into the characters. I'm not getting into Ragnarok as much as I got into Xenoblade 3. I will not deny that, but I think story-wise, they are both very, very good. So he will probably be finishing that tonight. Yesterday, I finished Monogatari. I realized that Pokemon is coming out Friday, which is now tomorrow, and I'm really, 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 really excited to fucking play this thing. So I was like, okay, Monogatari has been the project for the past, week or so. Because, man, I flew through watching this show. But I was like, I need to... Basically, I am going to stop doing anything else. We are going goblin mode. Still gonna go to work, still go to the gym, but aside from that, and even then I didn't go to the gym yesterday, it's aside from that shit, we are voraciously consuming this show. And so I continued at a gluttonous pace, but I finished it yesterday. And I know I've done a few Trails reviews, I have the next one written, I'm gonna record. I want my next thing that I really record and talk about, aside from this, and unless it's something short, is Monogatari. I want to give my full thoughts on the series. Here's the things I like. Here's the things I like. Here's the things I don't care for. Here is my top 13 story arcs. I picked 13 specifically because it's a show about a lot of supernatural phenomena. So 13 being the very occult number that it is, this feels kind of fair. Plus, there's a lot of arcs and a lot of good ones. So it's if I was just limiting myself to a normal top 10, I'd be well, I feel like there's genuine shit I want to talk about and praise that doesn't make the list, and it's my list. If I want to make it longer and talk about shit I want to talk about, let's do it. Who's gonna stop me? Me? No. So, there we go. I'm hoping that, hopefully tonight and sometime tomorrow, in between work and Pokemon coming out, I can finish writing up a Monogatari review and then just talk about it. Like I said, Pokemon is coming out tomorrow. Very excited for it. Tonight, actually, what time is it right now? So in about an hour, I want to go see if I can watch Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I watched the first one. Because I haven't seen every Marvel movie, from phase 1 through 3, excuse me, there's maybe 4 movies I haven't seen. I know I haven't seen Captain Marvel, I haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp. That might be it. There might be 1 or 2 others. But when it comes to phase 4, I've only seen Spider-Man because I grew up with the Tobey movies. There's no way I was going to miss this for the world. And Doctor Strange 2. Because with all the hype going into it, all the leaks, it was this movie's going to be crazy, and it wasn't. And, part of that, I feel genuinely, part of my disappointment with the movie is, yeah, it wasn't what I was hoping or expecting with all the leaks and hopes for the cameos and shit. Part of it is also, I just don't think the movie worked on a narrative level, but I'm not really going to get into that here. Regarding the first Black Panther movie, I think, for better and for worse, it is a Marvel movie. It is part of the MCU, and having watched the majority of these movies, there were moments where I was I've seen this movie before. I've seen this scene before. This is it. Okay. The first, third of the movie, maybe the first half, when it's just, this is Wakanda, this is Wakanda's culture, these are the people here. I thought that was phenomenal. I was like, oh man, this might actually end up being one of my favorite Marvel movies. This has such a style to it. There's so much culture. I am digging this. I think Killmonger is one of the best antagonists in the MCU. But in the second half, last 2/3, however much it was, I was like, okay, now it's starting to feel a bit more formulaic than it was before. So I liked the movie. I didn't love it. I was not nearly as impressed with it as everyone else was. And from what I've heard about Wakanda Forever, it sounds kind of mixed. It sounds like even the people who like the movie are like, yeah, I enjoyed it. These are the things I liked in it. But I thought it was all right. And so I'm not going in with super high expectations. So maybe that's the thing. I went with incredibly high expectations in the first one, and I thought it was fine. So this one going in with, I'll watch it. I might enjoy it. I might be blown away by it. Because what I have heard from even the people who I've heard of it is it was okay. The movie is at its best when it is, the acting apparently is just phenomenal. But it's at its best when it is mourning Black Panther and when it is mourning Chadwick. And that's what I want to see. Because I haven't really seen Chadwick Boseman movies. I think I've really only seen him play T'Challa. But I thought he was fantastic. I thought he was, at least from the little bit of sample size I had, I thought he was a great actor. And after hearing of his passing and the fact that, he gave these great performances while he was dying, I was incredibly impressed. And the fact that this movie is just a tribute to him, I feel like I owe it to myself to see it. And I am looking forward to it. And I do afterwards, like I said, Monogatari is the next big thing I want to do. I feel like a Wakanda Forever. It's kind of going to be the Pokemon Journeys thing. Where it's I just saw it. This is what I think. It's really good, or it's really meh, or man, I did not like it. But here's the things I did like. We go blah, 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 blah. But I'm planning to go see that within the next hour or so. And apparently it's long. It's 2 hours, 40 minutes. I don't really want to go sit down and watch a damn near 3-hour movie. But hey, Endgame was 3 hours and I saw it twice, and neither time I felt its length. Seven Samurai is, I think it's 3 hours, 30 minutes. It's some obscene length. And I watched it, and by the time I was done, I was like, that was 3.5 hours? That felt like 2. This movie flew by. It was Seven Samurais. It is my favorite Kurosawa movie. I haven't seen a whole lot. I know I'm really going off in tangent, but I know I've seen Ran, which is phenomenal. What is it? Hidden Fortress, which is good. I've seen Rashomon, which I liked. And did he do Ikiru? I don't remember if that's a Kurosawa movie. I want to say it is. I'm kind of mixed on it. There's parts of it I really like, parts of it I don't really care for, but Seven Samurai is probably one of my favorite movies ever. So I'm looking at my notes and seeing the next thing on there, and it just says, Saints suck. Yeah, yeah, they do. I mean, Pittsburgh's been trashed for weeks. TJ Watt comes back and, hey, look, they can play football again. The defense did their shit. They only gave up 13 points, but the defense has been so bad to mid lately. I don't know if that's the defense played a great game or they played the Steelers, who have no offense. Of course you're not going to give anything up. And we still lost by 3 because our offense can't do shit. So at this point, we are, is it 3-6 or 3-7? I think it's 3-7. The Bucks are 5-5, so it's okay, we no longer control our own destiny to at least tie them. I think we also no longer control our own destiny to win a wild card berth. I think the 49ers were ahead of us. I think now they're also 5-5, and we have a game coming up with them. So before that, technically we did. So we could beat the Niners, be ahead of them. I mean, tiebreakers with the rest of the NFC, because everyone's 3-7, 4-4. aside from a small handful of teams. Like, the league is very mediocre this year. It's kind of weird. It is what it is. But my brain was just kind of thinking, it was like, okay, now we no longer control our own destiny. Now, as I've been saying, there's a lot of time in a season, a lot of weeks, but the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking fast now. And my brain was like, what's going to happen? The Saints are going to wake up. The offense is going to click, whether it's because they've put Jameis back in or Andy stops throwing picks. The defense is able to get consistent pressure, get takeaways, actually tackle people, and not give up like 2 to 3 big plays a game. And it's like, oh my goodness, they're coming together. This, excuse me. They're playing good defense, they're running the ball, this team is getting hot. This is the team no one wants to see in the playoffs. Where did they come from? And we're still going to miss it by a game. Like a game, half a game, something. Basically the Colts from last year. Got hot at the right time, and then went cold right at the end. Or for us, it would be, we got hot, but it was too little too late. It's like, that's the kind of shit I expect. It's like, I just want to not have hope anymore. Just say the season's a wash. It's done. Let me just enjoy football, the sport, instead of having to support my team. But I can't do that because we still have a chance. As bad as we are and as marginal as that chance is, it's still there. So I still gotta hope that we grasp it, firmly grasp it. But it's probably gonna be just out of reach, and that sucks. Now I'm upset. Which kind of leads into the other thing I was going to say. So I remember earlier this week on Sunday, just not having a good day. It's kind of one of those days where, oh, well, this thing is kind of annoying. And then, oh, well, this thing is kind of annoying. And then this thing is kind of annoying. And by the end of the day, you're like, if it was just 1 or 2 of these things, it'd be whatever. But the fact that like 5 to 6 things went just wrong enough. Gah. And I remember at one point thinking, I'm so annoyed. Excuse me. Sorry. I just had some Chick-fil-A a little bit ago. That's why I'm a little burpy. My apologies. But it was a really good sandwich, by the way. But I remember being like, I'm so mad. I'm so angry. I'm so frustrated. I need to channel this. I need to do something productive. I'm going to clean. And just like I cleaned like the bathroom wall. I cleaned the shower. I got Clay to help me clean the fridge. We cleaned the countertops. Like, we went all the way to Walmart. Like, we're going to get some Clorox. We're going to start wiping shit down. It's like, I am channeling this frustration, but I am going to make something up. Because I had noticed the countertop like a couple days before, and I was like, wait a second. There's so much clutter on here. Like, so much stuff that doesn't get used. And it's, oh gosh, it's gross. Why is it so gross? I need to do something about this. I'm not going to do it now, but soon, like maybe my next day off. This is going to be like a boss fight. I'm going to prepare for this. I got to get my setup. And getting really mad apparently was my setup. I was like, okay, let us go. And then we went, and that was great. Do I have anything else I want to say? Any shows I've been watching? Just Monogatari, and I finished it, and it was great, but spoilers for my review. I really liked the show. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'll see you when I see you. Maybe I'll do another thing quickly tonight after I watch Wakanda Forever. I might do that tomorrow. We'll see, but